if history is kind to Fugazi, their records won't be overshadowed by their reputation and methods of operation. Instead of being known for their community activism, $5 shows, $10 CDs, and resistance to mainstream outlets, they will instead be known for their intelligent songwriting and undeniably proficient musicianship, which drew from their roots in Washington, D.C. hardcore, as well as post-punk and dub reggae. Songs like Waiting Room and Suggestion, as well as albums such as Repeater and Red Medicine, are considered post-hardcore benchmarks. Drummer Brendan Canty, bassist Joe Lally, guitarists vocalists Ian MacKaye, and Guy Picciotto formed Fugazi in 1986. Initially a trio, Picciotto was added to the lineup after the band's first live shows. Prior to forming, the members already had deep roots in the DC punk scene. Dischord labelhead MacKaye, who had previously been in the Teen Idols and Minor Threat, had just come from Embrace. For better or worse, Embrace, along with Picciotto and Canty's better Rites of Spring, kick-started the emo subgenre that reached prominence years later. After further honing their cathartic live act and expanding their material, the band's first EP Fugazi was released in late 1988. More an extension of Rites of Spring's thick, dynamic, varied tempo soul-bearing than anything else, the EP featured Suggestion, which became the group's most well-known song. Though the course of rock history shows that loud music created by angry men tends to be of a predatory nature, Suggestion was an anomaly. MacKaye spoke from a woman's point of view and railed against objectification. The similarly Margin Walker EP followed the next year and was later coupled with Fugazi on CD as 13 songs. Repeater, the band's first proper album, was released in 1990, a toughened and refined progression. It's generally regarded as a classic. Steady Diet of Nothing, issued in 1991, was clearly the band's most challenging material to that point. 2 years passed until the arrival of In on the Killtaker, an abrasive set that registered on the Billboard 200 at number 153. While major labels were interested in signing the band and even linking with Dischord, a label that had lost Jawbox to Atlantic and Shudder to Think to Epic, they were turned away. As the responsibilities of adulthood and outside musical involvements increased, Fugazi's recordings and tours became more sporadic during the latter half of the 90s. Both Red Medicine in 1995 and End Hits in 1998 were looser and more exploratory than the band's earliest recordings. Instrument in 1999, a documentary video directed by Jem Cohen was released with an accompanying soundtrack and included live performances and interviews. The soundtrack featured demos, jams, and incidental cutting room scraps. Fugazi's sixth proper album, The Argument, in 2001 was simultaneously issued with the 3-song Furniture EP. Outside Fugazi, both MacKaye and Picciotto helped other bands with production. MacKaye continued to operate Dischord, and Lally began his own label Toloda. Picciotto also ventured into filmmaking. Though they never officially disbanded, Fugazi remained dormant as the years spun on. MacKaye toured and recorded more with the Evens, his band with Amy Farina. In 2011, Dischord launched the Fugazi Live series, an online archive that grew to house recordings of various qualities of every one of the group's more than 1,000 shows. When the series reached its goal of complete documentation of Fugazi's live work, Dischord marked the end of the phase with the 2014 release of First Demo, a remastered issue of the band's previously unreleased 10-song demo recording from 1988. However, here are the top Fugazi songs. Glue Man. The Fugazi EP was originally released in 1988 as 7 songs. Unlike most of the rest of the band's discography, Picciotto did not perform any guitar parts, with all of them being performed by MacKaye. Picciotto does perform vocals on several of the tracks on the album. Glue Man was written by MacKaye. The Kill. The Fugazi song The Kill is taken from their final album The Argument, which was released in 2001. Although many songs on the album were developed from parts of previously written songs, this was a track that was composed entirely in the studio. The album reached number 1 on the independent charts. The Kill is one of the band's more mellow tunes and actually features bassist Joe Lally on vocals. His vocals are rather Dylan-esque. It fits the laid-back feel of the song very well. All of the track has a very spacey post-rock feel to it. Shut the Door. Continuing with our top 10 Fugazi songs list, we turn to 1990's Repeater album. The 1999 documentary about the band entitled Instrument features a live performance of this song. The performance shows the intensity of the band live. The song Shut the Door makes use of the various dynamic play that the band are known for. MacKaye whispers during the verses while the guitars glisten with hard melody. MacKaye's vocals transcend from the opening whispering moments to his trademark shouting style.
She's not breathing!
Smallpox Champion. This track is taken from 1993's In on the Killtaker, which was the band's third album. Released at the height of the alternative rock boom of the early 90s, it was their breakthrough album and the first to chart, reaching 153 on the Billboard charts. Like most tracks on the album, it is very upbeat. The sound in general could very much be seen as a precursor to what would be known as emo in years to come. However, unlike the horrible commercialized genre it has become today, this track truly lives up to the name, containing real emotion that comes from the heart. Waiting Room. Closing out our top Fugazi songs list is the band's most well-known song, entitled Waiting Room. The song has been covered numerous times, even by multi-platinum selling artists such as Red Hot Chili Peppers. Lally's bassline is one of the all-time greatest. MacKaye, like Picciotto, is not a singer in the true sense of the word, but his performance here is very good, as he showcases his unique shouty style. This is an aspect of the song that many of the covers have not quite managed to pull off due to the style of the vocalists.